How's it going? Matt Sardo, Monkeys Fan Robots, and I am super excited to talk to you today because I have an earlier review of The Forged, #1 from Image Comics. The Forge, #1 hits your local comic book store on March 15th. The book is written by Greg Rucka with art by Eric Trautmann and Mike Henderson. Nolan Woodward brings the colors to life, and you will read Ariana Maher's letterwork. What does Image say about the Forge? In the 11th millennium of the rule of the Eternal Empress, a squad of planet-smashing super soldiers find their routine mission to be anything but. These are the Forged. They take no prisoners. I really enjoyed this book. It's high concept. It's oversized, which was refreshing. Rucka creates an indie film. And then the art team takes the indie film and makes it like a giant blockbuster film. And it was spectacular. This was a fun read, and you're in the trenches with the Forged, and that's where the book works the best. Is Rucka has you right there with this like team of female pilots, jockeys, all this machismo. And then it's also like sexualized as well. And you're just like right in it. And you get attached to these characters like really quickly. And it was also interesting to see how they used like camera angles. And I say camera angles because I come from a film background, but the panel layout was interesting because it's like, who is the object and who is the subject in this like book that is high sci-fi, sexualized, intense, like, so it's like there's a lot of things going on that were very interesting from a comic perspective to look at. You know, like we're looking at one character from the camera angle is going up, and then the other camera angle is straight ahead, and then like looking down, and it's like, who's the object, who's the subject in this, and one of the cool things about the Forged is Rucka knows what he's doing. He creates a book with layers. So for the popcorn crowd, you can read this book and just go right on through and be like, hey, this is awesome. Action, women, yay. And then for the next level, you can be like, okay, there's a character named Cassandra in there. And what does Cassandra mean? And in Greek mythology, Cassandra means the one who shines and excels over men. So then there's like, okay, men versus women kind of thing going on there. And then this is just me just looking at it very quickly. I know there's got to be another layer below that or above that where you dig even deeper into the meaning of all these different characters and what's going on. Like, what do we have? The Forge, the characters are, their call signs are the Pusher, Hap, Harpo, Crazy Joe, Vic. You know, I'm old school, so like Harpo Marx, that kind of kicks in with me. And this is a future tale, so I'm like, how do these guys know about the Marx Brothers? Image calls it an over-the-top pulp adventure of sex, violence, and sci-fi inspired by Conan, heavy metal, and other comics you tried to hide from your parents. That's interesting. You're throwing a lot of stuff at me right there. The design element of it, I was feeling like Robotech, Voltron. There's some Navy officers in there, and they have some like 1800s clothes. If you were an officer there, but like modernized. The color palette as well. When you're in space and you have these like big space scenes. Perspective of space. And then the colors you can use from like coming in from the sun and the blacks and the purples and the stars and everything like that. Like that was really cool. There, like I said, there's this Cassandra character, and the way they show her and use the colors, Woodward really excels at this point because like she comes off the page and she is very mystic and regal looking, and you know that this character means business and is a main character, and there's a lot of emotion and feelings that you get from this character, and a lot of it has to do with how she's presented stylized with art, but also with the colors as well. And I thought that was really impressive. For me, The Forge is a must buy. The book is oversized, so I'm going to be really excited about flipping through it and having these giant sized panels just coming at me in the colors. But also the concept, this giant sci-fi new universe that you're in. You got some like Robotech, some Voltron, some Blade Runner, like like heavy metal. Like there's so much concept in this that you're like, oh my god, this is a comic book nerd's dream. But then like there's the depth of story where you're like, okay, I get to know about these different characters and I see these different things that are happening and like I feel for these characters. And then over the top artwork. Like you can't have a blockbuster film or blockbuster movie with like shitty cinematography. The Forge has amazing artwork. And I'm really entertained with the different panel layouts that they used, the colors that they used. I'm really excited to see the Forge like battle it out and see how action scenes are handled by this team. Like that's going to be really good in issue 2. But overall, like the introduction of all these characters, like everything was like laid out perfectly for me artwork wise. I have a complete visualization of the world that they showed me. Yet there is still so much more. They showed me like this much. And like, I know that there's this much more going on there. So, overall, I'm like super jazzed. Like I can't wait for March 15th to come. And to run to my comic book store and hold it in my hands and be like, oh my God, this book is amazing. All right, campers, let me know if you're excited for The Forge. Comment below on what Image books that you've been buying up to date and what are the key triggers that get you really jazzed for a new comic book. I kind of told you what mine were with, depth of story and concept and colors and like artwork. Like these are the different things that where I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm really jazzed for this new series. What are those things for you where you're like, okay, is it a certain writer? Is it a certain artist? Or is it like a genre? Let me know. Comment below. Again, thanks so much for supporting the channel. We're over 2,000 subscribers already. And everybody's been commenting on all the different things I've been doing. And it's been a good conversation. Like I am so excited that this thing is working out the way I wanted to do. Because what I wanted to do is create a space for us to talk about comic books in like a positive light. And I think that's what we're doing so far. So thank you so much. And you have a great new comic book day.